We don't have to create what they want us to create. They tell us the stories they want us to believe. We believe them, and our belief in our emotions create our reality. Okay? So even if it's maybe true to a degree, you take that knowledge and you spin it for the positive. You take that knowledge and know that it doesn't have to be that way. Just because they want it that way doesn't mean it is that way. We help make it that way by believing it and start doing it. We hold up the system. We hold up that dark system all over the place. It's time for us all to start looking within ourselves and realizing where we're holding up the system, and in places where we can, we need to drop it. We need to change things. We need to do our best. I know the more you start to see, the more you're going to see. And you're going to be like, holy shit, we are just completely programmed. Even those of us who have been awake our whole lives, we're still programmed. Especially if we've made it through this awake the whole time. There's certain programs that have kept us able to cope. But point is, we all have shitloads of programming. We all need to just check ourselves and realize we're all flawed. None of us are perfect. We all are holding up the system in one way or another, and most likely and most definitely in many, many ways. So just do your best. There's some things that are going to be easy to drop them first. Other things you're going to have to work on a little bit. Other things may be just straight up impossible at this moment. Put those aside for now. Work with the easy ones first. Start small. Don't make huge changes all at once. What you do when you do that is you pull the rug out from under yourself, and you have no stability. So even though your stability may seem negative and maybe holding up the structure, you need to step off it slowly. You need to find something else that is actually stable and step down slowly. Now you may find that you step down and back up and down and back up and down and back down and back up. And that's okay. As long as you keep stepping up, the downward steps will be less and less. Sometimes you may feel like you fell a long way, but you just gotta keep trying, just keep enduring, just do your best. And first and foremost, be compassionate with yourself. Do not hate on yourself. Do not get after yourself. We're our own worst enemies, and that's the very first thing you need to work on. Well, it's the very first thing I needed to work on, and it seems like the best thing for people to work on is your own personal thoughts. You know, try and get a hold of them. Try and make them more positive than negative. And it doesn't mean go stick your head in the clouds and la la land, but it means so many things. So many things it means. I think we'll get into that later, but it means to look at things as they are, accept the truths as they are, and make changes where you can. One of the very best quotes comes from, it comes from NA or AA, and it's a prayer, so maybe it comes from church, who knows, but it's a good one. It says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Okay, so, yeah. Work on that. That's what I work on all the time. I'm getting better, but it's hard, and we're totally programmed to constantly bitch at ourselves because we've constantly been bitched at our whole lives. You know what? I saw a dad bitching at his son on the way out of Walmart today about not being in the place you're supposed to be at the time you're supposed to be. The kid's like 10, 11. Like he's sitting there watching his clock, right? Okay, so I don't know how long he was late or whatever. But the thing is, Dad, what you don't realize is that these kids, parents, you need to stop bitching at your kids. You need to show them love, compassion, and how to deal with life, because you're the only one who is, that's your job, and you're the only one whose job that is. And I know that generations past, none of us have been very good at this, but we have to get better, because these kids, they're constantly bitched at by their teachers, by their social media, by their friends, by their, the world is negative, and the kids, they get the ass end of everything. So if you think your life's negative, I can guarantee you your kid's life is 100% worse, and you need to show them a sense, a place where there is some fucking place to breathe. Okay, you can't just be another woodpecker pecking at their goddamn brains and telling them whatever you're telling them. Okay, you need to show them love. You need to show them how to deal with their problems. You need to show them how to treat their friends. You show them how to treat themselves. And first and foremost, you need to treat yourself that way as well. And your loved one, or your spouse or whatever, if you have one. Okay? Because these poor kids, if you're an adult and you think your kid's life is simple and easy and fun like it was when we were kids, I can guarantee you are wrong. Ain't no fun no more for kids. We've got to make it that way. We've got to teach them how to have fun again. We had so much fun when we were kids. And guess what? We got in trouble. But you know what? We learned from it when we were kids. And we had the ability to learn from things easily without massive consequences. Because when you learn things after you're an adult, consequences become much more massive. Right? So let your kids fuck up. Let them be kids. I am so disappointed in the parenting these days. Not that it was any better back in the day, but, and I'm not blaming anyone. I know life is fucking hard, and it's hard to see anything beyond your own misery and sorrow, and that is by design. So realize, and I have to realize this every day too, this is hard times. And if we don't come together with love and compassion and helping each other in every way we can, we're not going to make it. And we won't deserve to make it if we can't do that. I'm as worse as anybody at being a recluse and hiding in my little hole and pulling into my shell, and I'm working on this. I seem to do this subconsciously. It seems to be out of my control, but I'm working on it still. And the more I work on it, the more I gain control of it. I want to teach you ways to deal with this, everything, and ways to gain chi, energy, prana, life force, and this life force heals all areas, and it helps you to get through this life. I've tried a lot of things trying to cope with this life, and energy work, light work, has been the only thing that helps. Well, not the only thing. It's been one of the only things that actually works to heal and not just mask symptoms for a little while, or not just heal for a little while, but heal permanently to where you don't deal with it ever again, or if you do, it's because you continue to do the things that caused it in the first place. But even then, it might take a long time for it to come back. Everybody's different. I can't really promise anything, but I can promise that if you do it, you will feel better. I think that's all for now. Bye.